Rails running, chasing hard, but they've got to chase down Criminal Offence. Senor Toba running on strongly, then Kukaracha coming through the middle. Criminal Offence in front. He's got a break. He'll hold on. Criminal Offence. It's a local win.
Welcome to Brisvegas, our Queensland Winter Carnival show. It's been fantastic stuff. Brought to you by TopSport and puntingform.com.au. I'm your host, Scoot, and I've got the Windsor Weasel, Tommy Henjak, and Johnny Mcleod from MacBet joining me. How are you guys?
That's good. What's doing?
Mate, we're just getting ready for a cracking weekend. The Brisbane Winter Carnival is up and about. Ayrton's gone up there. Jamie Carr won't get the weight. It's all sort of happening in Brisbane, but there's a lot happening with you, Johnny Mcleod. You're out in the park. What's going on?
Yes, I'm out in the bush here. We've sold our house, so of all things, it's right on the time of this meeting. So I'm down in the park, right next to the river here. It's good actually. I wouldn't mind doing a bit of work down here.
Mate, beautiful blue skies. It's still freezing and windy. Surprise, surprise. That is Melbourne. Let's talk about last week. There was some interesting races, and Criminal Defence was the knockout runner in the Rough Habit. Did you guys find it late at a big price? Senor Toba was the one that we tipped up on the show, and gee, it looked like a quiet derby trial from the Waller camp. Bit disappointing, really.
Tom, you want to go?
No, I'll do the other two. You go these ones.
Well, Criminal Defence is a complete pain for me. I've been on it so many times, it's just not funny. And I can't believe he went forward into about fourth too wide, just had the perfect run. There was no speed on. He sprinted at the right time. And I think Senor Toba was just out there for a look. You know, he went back. The pace wasn't there. You know, he'll be a different horse. Is it next week? I think you'll find the big grey coming down the outside at Eagle Farm.
What about Explosive Jack? He's taken everything before him from the Kieran Maher stable, and all my reports is he's still on track for the Queensland Derby. Can they beat a horse of his quality, or can Senor Toba turn the table, beat him?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll be. I don't think there's very little between the two of them. One's an up and coming stayer that's got to actually prove it, but the other one's been Tassie, Sydney, Adelaide, all over the shop, and they're not machines. And now back up to Brisbane, I think I'd rather be on the up and coming Waller horse. I think I really think he's going to be hard to beat.
The fresher, more lightly race horse, and maybe Explosive Jack will come to the end of his preparation. Interesting one was Eduardo. It was heavily backed. I think it was $2.50 into a $1.85 or a $1.90 quote there in the sprint. It was a good steer from Nash early, but I was a little bit surprised that he stayed on the fence. And a roughie that you guys tipped up was Wild Planet, and well, he hit the line hard. But what did you think of the ride of Nash?
I didn't think.
I think it was a bit. So I thought there wasn't much he could do. He was getting pressured by Graf outside the leader, which was a big surprise in itself, I guess you could say. It was a very fast run race, and he was out on his feet that last 100 meters. But I guess there wasn't really anything they were entitled to run on, and nothing really put their foot down. Like Wild Planet was first up, Harrovian was first up, probably looking for further. Trekking could be gone. He did loom like the winner, and he was thereabouts, but just didn't put in that last 200. So a bit of a question mark heading into a Stradbroke, that form reference. I think there'll be a big eyes on the BRC Sprint. I think that's where we might see our Straddy winner.
What were you going to say, Johnny?
Yeah, I think I think we actually said if the favourite goes to one of its runs behind Nature Strip, it wins by probably 8. And if he goes about 3 or 4 lengths worse, he still can win. And that's what he actually did. And on our figures, he's gone about 3 lengths worse than he can go, and he still won. And, I don't want to be on any of those horses parked behind him, because they had everything possibly put in their favour, and they couldn't get it down. And he's a horse that's probably lost half a leg since Sydney. So I don't want to be back. I don't want to be backing horses that's going to be chasing or couldn't chase a horse that's got 3.5 legs.
Yeah, interesting point. So, yeah, a couple of the runners behind it might have looked a bit flattered there with a poor performance. He only just sort of fell in. He did enough, I guess, Eduardo. And what did you guys make of the win of Warning? It was a barnstorming win. It was he traded very big odds in play, but massive finish with Warning.
Yeah, it was strange that it was like I didn't give it much at all because I thought it was a bit one-paced, getting back in the field around Doom, and it was going to struggle to pick up. And but he actually he ran the sectionals, he tore down the outside. It was a big win. A lot of these horses coming up here, they do find a leg every now and again, and they just keep on improving. So the sunshine on its back. It's found its form. It's going to be, strong at the finish of races. So look out.
Yeah, I think it was the track kind of allowed him to run on as well. It wasn't your kind of regulation Doomben where it does suit the on-speed runners. It was a track where you wanted to be slingshotting off the camber on the turn.
And definitely the drier track suit a horse like Warning. Robbie Heathcote, Uncle Robbie, never seems to have he always has a good horse in his stable. Prince of Boom won the Spirit of Boom Classic. This horse is no slouch, is it?
No, absolutely not. It was a funny run race actually because the Waller runner who was first up, Giannis, it was actually vetted behind the gates pre-race. The noted leader on paper, Mouse High, which is trained by Casey Fogden, it refused to load. So that was the pace influence. Kind of out of the race. They went out at a moderate clip, I think. King Kappa went across, dropped anchor. That forced the other runner from South Australia, who was that? That was, name is See You in Spring. That pushed Miss Hipstar 3 wide, started to over race with Tiger and Malay out there. And Prince of Boom, kind of the gap open, just went straight up the inside. But there were some funny things that happened in that race, but you can't argue with the splits home. Ran really good time there on Saturday.
Where do you think his ceiling is, Johnny?
Well, you don't know because it's only his second start in a race and backing up 7 days after his first start. It was a good win at Sunshine Coast first time last Sunday. I think I actually made it one of my not miracle. Oh, it wasn't a miracle, but it was one of those ones you just had to follow on one of my podcasts. So it was always going to be hard to beat, but it was a matter of whether it could actually take the class jump in 7 days, and it did. But as Tom's saying, a few of the main chances of the race come out. So it made it a lot easier when horses, one's come out, one's vetted, and one's 3 wide. Just made it a little bit easier, but he won by 3 or 4. So good win.
It'll be interesting to follow that horse's progress. Now, it's going to be a cracking episode this week. We're back at Doomben again. We're going to have a look at the quaddie legs. So a couple of weeks ago we did the quaddie legs and we got it in about 10 picks, I reckon. So hopefully we can do that again. The Chief to Beers, the Doomben Cup, the BRC Sprint and the Roses are the key races there. So we get a little bit of a look towards the Queensland Oaks, which is very exciting. There's a 2-horse war in the Roses. So make sure you support one of our sponsors, puntingform.com.au. It's Australia's best online form guide. It's used by all the big syndicates and the boys in the Brisvegas show. All 3 of us, we absolutely love it. We're going to take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll start to preview the Chief to Beers. Welcome back to Brisvegas, our Queensland Winter Carnival show. I'm your host, Scoot, and I've got Tommy Henjak and Johnny Mcleod from MacBet. The boys will whiz through the quaddie legs, hopefully makes your Saturday betting at Brisbane a little bit easier. Now, the first race we're going to have a look at is the Chief to Beers. It's an 1,100 metre race, and Johnny Mcleod's going to take us through this one. But the odds are on the screen now, courtesy of topsport.com.au. The movers there are Sugar Boom, $6.50 into 5, Varda, $7, King of Hastings, $7, California Zimble, $9, The Astrologist, $9.50, and Nidorp and Zanaya, $10. The replay that we're going to get up here is Nidorp. Johnny, take us through this one.
This is Nidorp. He came from a wide gate this day and he pinged across and worked a little bit. He found the lead and then he gave a good kick. Now, the horse on the outside of him goes all right. Blazing Miss, I think it is. That's the horse third on the fence, who we had something small on the other day that runs second. He's battling away. Then you've got a horse out wide that goes quite good. It's been retired, but it does go quite good. Now, I think he'll push forward on this thing. He won't lead, but if he pushes Boss and gets over to about fourth or fifth and has a little bit of luck early stages, the horse will be just peeling around him. It'll be there, and then it's just a matter of whether he can hold off the closes. But I think there's solid speed up in front. We've got Sugar Boom. He's really a 900-metre horse, maybe 1,000. It can't lead, but it'll be sitting second and be vulnerable the last little bit. You've got Kyle Lease, who I think will probably lead, going to the 1,100. It's going to be a little bit suspect the last little bit. And what was it? There was another horse that was going to kick up. The Odyssey's got a little bit of speed as well. It hasn't been shown as much of late, but it's got speed. So they could spread them out, and that'll help Neodorp, and it'll posse up beautifully just in behind them, and it'll be looming to win, and it's $10. So I think that's a nice little price.
Yeah, there's a couple of interesting runners here, King of Hastings and the Astrologist. But yeah, when I first saw the market, I thought the price of Nidorp was juicy at the $10. Thoughts, Tommy?
Yeah, I thought when you look at the market there, Sugar Boom's your $5.50 favourite. I think you've got to go looking for something else. She's a horse that does like to lay in under pressure. We've got the rail out at 2 metres at Doomben on Saturday. She's going to be wanting to roll back to that fence, and to be honest, I think you're going to be wanting to get at least 3 horses off the rails in the straight.
Do you agree with how the track's going to play, Johnny?
Yeah, definitely. Because we, we're watching it the other day, and it's on the 0 meters, and we're all sort of saying that 3 meter lane was the 3 to probably 6 was the P, whereas now 2 meters out, you're going to be sort of. I'd rather be, that 4th 2 wide position peeling around the leaders. I think that's going to be the A1.
Perfect segue into the next race that we're going to preview. It's the Doomben Cup. It's a cracking race, this one. Pretty good field at odds courtesy of TopSport on the market now, on the screen now, sorry. And we've got Zaaki, the favourite. Wow, this move surprised me. 310 into 245 early. Sir Dragonet $4.80. Mugatu $5. Avilius $16. Melody Bell $18. And then you've got $19 or better the rest. It's an aggressive market move here, Zaaki. Tommy, let's have a look at the replay of the Hollandale Stakes where Zaaki was an emphatic winner. Tell us why you like this horse.
Yeah, an aggressive move this day as well in the Hollandale. He was third up here, and historically the Hollandale is the main lead up coming to the Doomben Cup the fortnight prior, 1,800 metres at the Gold Coast. He was coming here in this replay third up. J-Mac rolled forward from the wide gate, settled a pair off them. It was a pretty slow run race, so I'm going to put him away fairly easily with his turn of foot. As I think I said last week, it was well back this day. I think it was $6 into $3.50 favourite or something like that, which was very interesting. His previous run was 2,000 metres at Randwick in the JRA plate. The advantage that day was to be rails in run and on speed. He settled back from the gate after being hampered at the start and run some really good sectionals home. I guess the drag on him from that day, even though the pattern was against him, he come home with a horse called Hangman. We saw Hangman last week at Doomben. He started the $4 favourite in that warning race, and not sure what Johnny thinks, but I thought Hangman was fairly disappointing in that race.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a bit. I just don't know what to think about this Zaaki, because if you rule out his run the other day, he's no 240 shot, is he really? And no. he had the right position. He sprinted at the right time, and I can't remember the horse that runs second. It scratched it tomorrow, 50 stars. It was making some sort of ground or going with it. Now, is Sir Dragonet and Mugatu and those sort of horses better than 50 stars? And so that's the little question mark that I've got. But the only thing is, this horse has got to turn a foot. That's his plus.
Yeah, we might get the speed.
Here
you go.
Sorry, yeah, the different thing with Zaaki, I guess we saw in the Hollandale, though, was he was able to roll forward. And on Saturday, there's not a lot of speed on paper, so he probably does get a similar run. But we've also got, as you said, horses like Sir Dragonet who do bring the A form. The QE2 run behind Adabe and Very Elegant was very, very good, I thought. He got shuffled back behind VE, who was just over-racing the entire time, and he kept coming. He's a proven weight for age performer. We see these Mara and Eustace runners over the middle distances. They know how to train them, and you get Group 1 bossy on. I guess kind of the drag or the grey up, I guess you could say, with a horse like Sir Dragonet and Mugatu is they're coming off 4-week, 5-week spells. Whereas Zaaki's fourth up now, he's got the fitness under his belt, and this is a race he's definitely been targeted at.
Yeah, that's a really good point that you make, Turbo, and it's an interesting barrier draw. You got Bowman on one on Mugatu. If he was ever going to run a strong 2000, it's probably at Doomben, and then Sir Dragonet. It would not surprise me at all if Bossy kicked up and made Zaaki try and work or tried to get him posted sort of 3 wide. It'll be a fascinating race, and I'm sure it's going to be a really tactical affair. But wow, I look at a Cox Plate winner at 480. And I want to bet there. Like off one run, you could not talk me into Zaaki at the price of 245. So maybe if you are betting at home, there's definitely no rush to take the 245 in offer. I think Johnny Mcleod's not going to touch it. It could be the likely winner, but there's definitely no rush to bet there.
I agree with you, Scoot. I agree with you. I think Sir Dragonet is probably the one I'll end up having something on. The proven weight for age performer.
Any talk of tactics that you hear through the press of Boss going forward, I think that would be definitely ringing alarm bells. Is there any smoky or any roughie at big odds that can spoil the party for all of them?
Humidor. I didn't think it went bad at the Gold Coast the other day. He was in the wrong part of the track trying to push out. And he never really got a strong crack at him, and it was through that really good section. So the problem is this pace is going to be not helping him again. But I didn't think he went too bad the other day.
Did you take any of the $51? I do notice he's been 51 to 21.
No, I didn't actually. I'm sort of I'm winging this race because this is Tom's, and I had a look at a few of the runs, and I can remember Humidor. I don't know if I black booked it or I put something against it, and I know that it didn't go too bad. It was in the wrong part, so $50 that seems to be ridiculous. What do you think of it, Tom?
Yeah, I thought if there was speed goes on. I mean, Waller's got the stablemate Shared Ambition, who can be a pace influence in the race, but you're right, he's going to need speed on. But if the speed goes on, does that play into a horse like Sir Dragonet and Mugatu's favour? It's hard to say. It's
a fascinating contest, that, all about the tactics in the race. If you want to hear more of their thoughts, these guys, macbet.com.au is where you can subscribe to their info. I know that Johnny does late-minute previews from the yard, 3 to 5 minutes out. Here you can get his set, and Tommy's stuff is incorporated in that. Also, these guys are both powered by Punting Form, who also sponsor our podcast. We're going to take a bit of a break, and we're going to come back with the BRC Sprint and the Roses, little eye on the Oaks, and we've got some TopSport Big Bets and Prince of Boom. That was the one they backed early in the markets last time, so make sure you stay around. Welcome back to Brisvegas, your Queensland Winter Carnival show, brought to you by TopSport and Punting Form. We're going to have a look at the BRC Sprint. It's a cracking little race here. Odds courtesy of topsport.com.au up on the screen now. We've got Garibaldi, $3.70, Skin, $6, Groundswell, $7, Tofane, $11, and Axe for the all-conquering Michael Costillard. Wow, that horse has been an improver, but the replay that Johnny wants to look at here is Garibaldi.
Yeah, this is this day at Eagle Farm that he had a bad gate. He had to go back in the field, Rod, and he just didn't know whether to come out, go in, whatever he's doing, and he just got stuck in there. Right? It was a shambles it was, and the course is climbing over everyone. Just, it's the thing here is that they've got him around about 8 lengths fast than average. So for him to run this first two, or especially the winner, to what's he got? He's got pretty close, probably a neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to do that, it was amazing. It's just a big run. The only little question mark I've got with him is that he's going to the 1350, and I had a look at it. He had one run last year as a 3-year-old 1350, and he wasn't going near as good, and he just battled away. But he's a different horse here, and there's solid speed on up front. There's a heap of them. Olmedo's got some speed. You've got Emerald Kingdom's got a wide gate. He's going to have to do something. Groundswell's going to be pushing up from the one gate. You've got Master Jamie's got speed. You've got Fender's showing speed of late. And then you've got Axe, who's been leading of late as well. So, this horse can sit midfield. I think the last time we tipped him in that race we just seen, the video we showed him is he was running about 5th or 6th, getting a perfect run. Now, if he was around 6th here, geez, he's going to be hard to beat or hard to hold out. He's going to get probably around about 4 or 5 lengths head start on the second favourite in Skin. So I think there's a bigger gap than what the market has got between those two.
And tell us a little bit about Skins. He's quite progressive. He's 5 from 7, and he's jumped through his grades the last 2 starts. D. Van Dyke.
Yeah, he's a lovely horse. He started settling down in the yard a little bit. He was very, very stirry early doors, sweating up really badly, but he's got him to settle, Van Dyke, and he came out a bit slow the other day and railed up and got him down. But this is a different kettle of fish that he's chasing here. He only chased, what did he chase? He chased Axe, who come out and won next time, but he beat a very, just an average type of horse the other day, Axe, in a slowly run race. So you'll know he's in a race here with Garibaldi.
And the Victorian followers of the show, they'll be respecting Groundswell and Tofane. They're both well credentialed for a race like this.
Yeah, Groundswell's, I think the thing with him that's against him is just the speed. He's got this one gate, so he's going to have to really hunt to hold the inside, barrier, or he'll be pushing and shoving. So I think that could be a real worry for him. And I just want to back something just off the speed. I think Tom, you tipped Stampy the other day. I don't think it's out of the race. It went all right. Third run back here. If he has a little bit of luck from that gate and they spread him out, he's got some hope at big odds as well.
Have you got a tip in this race, Tommy?
I'm looking at a horse like, I think, Ranier, who can just settle off the speed here, second up. I think the 1350 metres is right up his alley. I think he's most effective at that 1,200, 1,400 metre range. So I think just that 50 metres less is just perfect. He has the tick over trial, gets Bowman on, gate 7 can be put to sleep. I'm looking at Ranier and Garibaldi for me.
So nice little price there. You can get $17 at TopSport if you like that one. And just to repeat, their boys have both got Garibaldi on top 370, and stepping out in trip, he is likely to settle closer in the run. Let's have a look at the last on the card, the Roses over 2,000 metres for 3-year-old fillies, a traditional Oaks leader. We've got Grace and Harmony 460, Bargain 460, Signora Nera 750. Love the name of this one. Good Size, $8.50. Tycoon Evie and Only Words, $11. And you can get better the rest. Bargain's a horse that has been well travelled. And here's her Oaks performance. Talk us through this one, Turbo.
Yep. So this was 2,400 metres at Randwick on the rain-affected surface. I think they left the sprinklers on that night. And look, the inside part where she is now in the green cap trying to get through, that really wasn't the place to be, where she was trying to chase down Hungry Heart in the Oaks. This is the A form, no doubt about it. I think it's a better form line than what we saw a fortnight ago at the Gold Coast. However, what I liked here was she showed tactical versatility. The run prior, she went enormous. That was in the Adrian Knox over 2,000 metres. She drew wide that day and had to go back. She chased home a horse called Juaze, clocked the 6th fastest last 400 and 3rd fastest last 200 of the entire meeting. She went like an absolute bomb. I think 460 is still kind of backable. The negative for me, though, is I think the 2,000 metre start at Doomben, you're like pretty much straight onto the bend. So there is going to be a fair bit of tempo, I think. A lot of these horses do like to go forward. So the inside gate, as John was saying, with Groundswell in the race prior, an inside gate is going to be weak horses coming back into your face. So you're going to need luck to weave a passage through the field. And she's also 35 days off. So similar to what I was saying with Sir Dragonet, it's not the it's a bit of an interrupted preparation. You're not getting that lead up run, all systems go. Possibly they're looking to improve second up. That's the small knock with me, but I've definitely got her favourite.
Something that worries me is when Waller horses draw a wide alley, and this is Grace and Harmony, especially maybe one run before Grand Final day. Where is it going to land in the run on the speed map?
Yeah, look, I think they've got to take their medicine and they go back. Like I said, I think there will be a fair bit of tempo engaged here, which will allow her to run on. And most importantly, she's coming out of a fast tempo race. So it's apples to apples. It's going to be a very similar run to what she had a fortnight ago. And there's going to be a few stablemates, I think, that are going to be able to help her track into the race. It's just whether she's giving a horse like Bargain too many lengths. And if Bargain gets the splits, I think she's going to be terribly hard to beat. I think a smoky chance at $20 there, as you look on the map, a horse that can go forward is Atonement. 20-1 at the moment. I think it might also be a run short, but at that kind of odds, I can't let it go around like that. It ran a cracker at 2,200 at Eagle Farm in the Grand Prix behind the Eleonora. But yeah, it's just whether it's a run too short. But those are kind of the three horses I'm looking at.
Only Gay Waterhouse would try this, but Splendiferous is going from 1,400 metres to 2,000 metres from Wagga up here to Doomben. Johnny Mcleod, is that horse any chance? And is there a joker in the pack here? Is Atonement a good smoky? What's the best knockout runner here?
I'm buggered if I know. All I can see here is that there's not many hopes. It seems like this is second tier sort of stuff. And so if horses like Bargain, step up, and as you said with Grace and Harmony, it's not grand final time. And Waller is very good at that. And, 14 gate. It's sort of like it makes me a little bit bilious if I was putting my cash on on Grace and Harmony, thinking it's it's sort of like semi-final time. That's all.
I launched into Senor Toba last weekend. I got absolutely fingers burnt off, and I just shook my head. So hopefully we can get a little bit of revenge in the Derby. But all of a sudden we run into a horse like Explosive Jack. So there's just absolute fresh hell everywhere. So Bargain is definitely the way.
Don't even worry about it, Scoot. Put it out of your mind. The grey flash will come down the outside and knock them completely off. They won't know which way that's gone.
I hope so. Let's have a look at the TopSport Big Bets. The first one here is race 1, number 10. Prince of Aragon is 1,000 at 440 there at TopSport. Any lean or inkling here?
That's Tom's race. What did you think of it?
My race, I think. Yeah, I haven't had a look at that race yet, but a horse like Celamane fourth up, it's a horse that gets back though, so it's going to need a fair few favours. But sorry, I haven't done that race yet.
And what about this one? I think everyone wants this ticket. It's Doomben race 7, number 1, Sir Dragonet, 4,000 at $6. That looks a juicy price.
Is that yours?
Well, I'm trying to claim it now. Yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah, I love $6.
I'd definitely prefer my 4,000 at $6 Sir Dragonet rather than 4,000 at $3.10 Zaaki. But who knows? Maybe Annabelle Neesham has got the best out of this horse Zaaki. But it's going to be a fascinating contest, and it's going to be a great day of racing up at Doomben. The carnival's just zipping along. Any thoughts of early Stradbroke predictions, or if you had to have a bet in the futures markets now? I haven't really given you guys much warning here, but who is the horse to beat in the Straddy?
Anything away from those horses behind that Group 1 winner, Eduardo, the other day. If that horse that's coming up on the or was going to fly up, what's the course that was flying up and they wouldn't, it couldn't get the flight and they've had to ship it up. I think it's if it's any good, I think it'll just blow them away.
Ayrton's 360, Harrovian $13, Nicanova 16, Wild Planet 16, Trekking 17, and much better the rest. It's it looks like it's wide open. Tommy?
Yeah, I was looking at a horse like Prague, but I think this morning the news has come out that he got injured in the paddock. So my futures ticket there's Confetti. But yeah, I think a horse, I'm probably looking at Garibaldi, who's going to be light down there in the weight. Just quickly, Scoot, did John Walter say he was coming to the track this week?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure of his movements, but he's a very exciting character, and who knows who'll be in his cavalcade. He's definitely a man of mystery, and he's got plenty of tricks in his kit bag. I actually thought, prior to his last start flop in the Goodwood, I thought a horse like Bo Rossa would be the ideal Stradbroke horse, but maybe he's emptied out, and he's probably gone to the paddock anyway after that Goodwood performance, but he was probably the only value I saw at $26 in the Stratty there. I'll ask Walt. You can slide into Walt's DMs. I'm sure you've got a couple of things to ask Walt, and I'd be surprised if you're not going out for dinner this weekend with Walt and a couple of his acquaintances, Tommy.
Yeah, I was disappointed I didn't get the invite to Eat Street after the races last Saturday, and he also didn't bring any of the Hulk juice, so I'm not sure what was going on there.
Oh, fingers crossed we don't need any Hulk juice and Garibaldi can get the job done. It's going to be a fantastic day's racing at Doomben, and thanks for your time today, guys.
Eddie Scoot, thanks.
Thanks, Duke.
Make sure you get around the boys. It's going to be a fantastic day's racing at Doomben. A big watch against Zaaki. I think the boys are starting to lean the way of Sir Dragonet, and definitely there, Garibaldi's the other good bet for the day, and they've tipped up a couple of roughies there. So thanks for joining us on Brisvegas, and make sure you follow all our content on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, or just Little Birdie TV on the YouTube channel. You'll find all our stuff there. Thanks, guys.